something is happening in Kenya. A wave is rising, not of politicians, but of young people. From the streets of Nairobi to the timelines of TikTok, Gen Z Kenyans are standing up, speaking out, and refusing to be ignored. But is this just a moment or the beginning of a movement? This is Kenya's youth versus the system, and we're asking, is this a revolution in the making?
Kenyans have been most upset about the cost of living. And yet, when thousands of young Kenyans took to the streets in protest of your government last year, the finance bill, your government opened fire on them, killed them, forcibly abducted and disappeared them. How do you justify such a violent crackdown on your own citizens in a democracy? The way you talk, lives had to be lost. No, lives were taken, right? People were shot in the head. Into a Reuters investigation, 19-year-old Charles Owino went to a protest, was killed with a gunshot to the head. The police recorded his death as a road accident. 21-year-old Shaquille Obienge, he died the same day as Owino, also shot in the neck. Police recorded his death as a road accident. If these deaths are so regrettable, why is the Kenyan police covering them up? How many police officers in Kenya have been prosecuted for their role in the violence in 2023 or 2024? Can you tell us how many? Kenyan parents crying over missing children, bodies turning up in rivers. That's people pretending, hiding with their girlfriends in their Airbnb.
At the heart of this firestorm is the 2024 finance bill.
William Ruto, if you continue imposing taxes against the hustlers, whom you swore to protect, time is coming that we are going to lead a serious revolution against your government. And we are going to make sure that we get you out of that office.
Unakufa, hatuwezi afford kula mara tatu kwa siku bwana. Hatukuli mara tatu.
Packed with new taxes, from digital content to essential goods, it felt like a final straw for many young Kenyans already struggling with unemployment, debt, and a rising cost of living. What made this moment different? TikTok, Twitter, Telegram. The protests weren't started by seasoned activists. They were organized by 20-year-olds with smartphones, decentralized, organic, angry, and united. But this isn't the first time Kenya's youth have stood up. In the 1960s, young freedom fighters challenged colonial rule. In the 90s, university students and opposition leaders pushed for multi-party democracy. Resistance runs deep in Kenya's history, but this time, it's digital, decentralized, and more emotionally charged. What we're witnessing might not be a revolution in the traditional sense, but it's a rebellion against apathy. This isn't just about the finance bill. Young Kenyans are questioning, why is there no accountability? Why are we led by people 3 times our age who don't understand our struggles? Why does corruption go unpunished while youth-led innovation is over-regulated? At the core of these demands is a single word: dignity. The right to live, work, and thrive without being crushed by systems built without them. But standing in the way are powerful barriers: a political class that dismisses youth as keyboard warriors, a media system that's slow to adapt, and a police force that still meets peaceful protest with tear gas and batons. For change to be real, this movement needs more than just hashtags. It needs strategy, leadership, and sustained pressure. Kenya isn't alone. From #EndSARS in Nigeria to student protests in South Africa and beyond, a global youth awakening is underway. What unites them? A belief that the old systems have failed and that young people can no longer afford to wait their turn. Kenya's Gen Z is now writing its chapter in this global story. So, is this a revolution in the making? Maybe, but it's definitely a reset. A warning to the old guard that the silence of the youth is over. Whether this movement fades or flames into full-blown change depends on whether the youth stay united, not just in anger, but in action. If you believe young voices matter, hit that like button, share this video, and tell us in the comments, is Kenya ready for a youth-led revolution? We are Roots Unfold, and this was Kenya's Youth versus the System. See you in the next one.